G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a quad Gauss rifle with plus 50% more limb damage and plus 1 perception, major and minor legendary effects respectively. This actually kind of reminds me of the last minute from Fallout 4, so that's cool. Anyways, so this particular setup of legendary effects on a Gauss rifle isn't all that bad. The Gauss rifle in and of itself has a couple of problems. Obviously, it's got a really low ammo capacity, which quad will solve directly, but the other thing dragging down its DPS is its low rounds per minute, at least if you want to get it to full power, because it takes a little bit of time to charge up the bullets to maximum damage before you can let them go and do maximum damage. If you don't charge it up fully, you get a half damage penalty, but I'm thinking with the strength of the Gauss rifle as it is, and I've even got the prime receiver for this, we might get away with not having to charge this thing all the time, and basically we can use the extra ammo capacity to use gun through to basically kill a bunch of things very, very easily. We've got a medium scope on this, so our perception not being as good as it usually would be under nerd rage threshold with unyielding armor. I've got chameleon armor with AP regen. Will give us a nice boost of accuracy too, so that's pretty good. We've also got plus 1 perception, which will decently boost the accuracy even more. It's a fairly moderate boost, but I'll take what I can get. Also, the limb damage thing probably fires a little bit too slow for that to have an effect, but I've noticed there's a little bit of an explosive effect when it comes to using Gauss rifles, so if that strikes an enemy doing 0 damage and then the bullet hits them actually dealing what damage we're getting out of this, we might see that little bug proc, but I wouldn't hold your breath. I wouldn't be counting on it. We can get by with probably the damage we're going to get anyway. 175 damage with the prime capacitors, not too bad. We'll quickly fill out our rifle build here. Gonna go some rifle perks. There's one, and the other one's over here, and then there's basic rifleman here. Got one rank of better criticals because I've just kind of gotten rid of class freak because it's not worth it. Just one rank is not going to be game changing, so 20% more critical damage feels like a decent thing, especially if we're going to be using gun through. Obviously, we'll chuck this one on first, that one on second, and if it is night, we'll get an increased sneak attack critical multiplier. Now we're doing 322, and if we multiply that by 4, well, basically 4, it'll be enough to drop most things. Even with the half damage penalty, probably not, but we'll have to see how we go. Okay, so here we are outside of I'm Not Playing XCOM 2, and here's the Gauss rifle, still looking as boxy and as overly long as ever. Here are my buffs, and my armor is all of the chameleon stuff, some of it with AP regen. So if we're going to be using this as a VATS heavy weapon, we'll be able to rely on the AP regen to quickly refill our AP bar, because this thing probably will take up a bunch of AP when it fires. Just have to wait for the server to actually do its thing. Now, I'm getting 1430 with the criticals. No, with the sneak criticals, not the VATS criticals, but oh my god, shut up, Super Mutant, you're dead. And it looks like we'll be able to drop these guys, at least when we are sneaking with the one shot. So, yep, basically it's gun through time. Oh yeah, that's so satisfying. Now, I've got a more important matter to discuss than how effective it is against these pleb super mutants, because we've seen these guys bite it by the thousands before. I'm thinking this weapon might actually be a queen killer. If we get it spruced up under nerd rage, which I guess is not exactly 70% more damage, but you know, you get the 50 from adrenal reaction and an extra 20 from nerd rage. I'm thinking this thing actually might hit hard enough to drop the Scorch Beast Queen fairly quickly. Granted, we don't have any crazy bloodied bonuses or anything, but I'm thinking the DPS on this thing might be good enough. I mean, the ammo capacity might be good enough to keep the DPS going to make it a somewhat quick kill. I don't know, I'll have to do some more testing. We'll have to pay more attention. No use of charging this up, I could just fire, but yeah, I'll have to pay attention when we're testing against Scorch Beast just to see how it goes. But for now, let's just stick to the green cunts. Okay, slowly does it, I guess. Let me just actually zero in there, get the shot on, and probably don't have to use VATS all that much if my accuracy is going to remain this good whilst I'm sneaking around, but I will get up every now and then to sprint, because if I'm creeping around, that would just take ages. There we go. There's a bit of a aim training exercise, I suppose, unless I want to be cheap and shoot guys which are generally a little bit harder to hit from where they are. Good old hit scan weapons. They probably are cheap to at least render for the server and makes aiming super easy. It just sucks when you move on to a game which you have to actually lead your targets. Your whole, I guess, muscle memory is a little bit off. So yeah, not like I'm going to play something like Battlefield anyway. Not the new ones. Hopefully the next battlefield they do make is something like, I don't know, modern times, back in the modern times, because I'm sick of all of this World War genre. It kind of outstayed its welcome, and now I want to go back to the modern times. Maybe even a little bit of a futuristic effect. I remember they had the Gauss rifle, sorry, it's gonna take me a while to adjust to actually saying Gauss rifle, but I know the actual pronunciation now. Wow, we've actually run the mag dry. Yeah, 20 bullets, just like the Fallout 4 Gauss rifles with the capacitor boosting coils or whatever, which would increase the damage. The only time you'd ever see those attachments in this game is when you're using that stupid presidential Gauss rifle, which doesn't have the new Fallout 4 attachment system on it. Might be a bit cheap to just piss away the ultrasight ammo like this, but it's fine. It grows on trees anyway. Quite literally, you can just pick it up from the berries outside of Scorched Earth, and as long as you've got something to provide you with the flux materials, I think I've got plenty of crimson on one character anyway. Thanks, Tachi. We're making good time, so we'll just pop this open, see what we can do here. Don't need to target anything like the head either to get the extra damage, which is basically going to guarantee our shots, especially with a weapon of this accuracy. If only I was so consistent in the aim, I suppose. It's like, whenever I miss these shots, I can't get mad at my XCOM characters for missing a point-blank shot. Except I will every time, because how did you miss that? Maybe it's a little bit different when you're in the heat of combat. You're not really thinking all that straight. Oh no, you've spotted me, but then you haven't because escape artist. No, I think it is you who will be torn apart with a cheeky little headshot. See, I know I was in danger there, so I aimed a little bit higher, and it paid off very well. And now we've got a tiny little bit of adrenal reaction to our names. But yeah, we could push this a lot further if we wanted to, but we kind of don't need to. Now, I've had the suggestion of chucking on some berry mentats to figure out where the last ones are. That is a good suggestion. Oh, my limbs are made of cheese again. Well, that's annoying. And the last coward guy is sitting in here. Now he's dead. Okay, normally Gauss rifles suck when it comes to the tools, but I'm thinking with my new tactics... Smash that, Rad Roach. I'm pretty sure I didn't kill him with bash damage, it was the explosion that took him out. But anyways, if I can just keep on using gun fu and targeting like this, I feel like we'll be in good shape. Now, unfortunately, I'm not as sneaky. I think it's since I'm sitting under the lights directly, the tools can actually see me, which is why they're, in comparison, slightly more perceptive than the super mutants. The super soldiers created by the government, because reasons. Because they're all in a dark room. They've got the lights on. They're concerned about the greenhouse gas emissions in the environment, so, they like living green. Please insert a snare hit here. There we go, I've done it. But yeah, like predicted, this thing slaughters the tools a lot easier than what you'd find out of most Gauss rifles. God damn, that's gonna be a real learning curve. It'll be easier for me to beat XCOM 2 on Legend difficulty than to pronounce Gauss rifles how they're actually supposed to be pronounced. And that was an XCOM miss right there. Speak of the XCOM and then it'll appear. Die, toolhead. Are we done here? I think there's someone at the tin cans. Alright, I'm gonna charge up the thing. Okay, apparently that was Michael Jackson. Rest in shit, you pedophile. So, I don't know what this limb damage nonsense is these days, and I do mean like incoming limb damage where your limbs get shattered between like 2 shots, but congratulations, Bethesda, you've made stealth even more versatile and also better. Okay, time to kill the crabs. Should be an easy thing. Oh, we've hit them for Satan's number. I guess that means they're all possessed. Not by Brabber this time. I can't believe that hit for 1400 damage didn't kill him. Just die, you bastard. Maybe he's got some sort of weird shell thing. I'm going to hit you multiple times because I don't like you. I'm going to make the pain last a little bit longer so your death was even that more agonizing. That's what I think of damage over time in this game. Nice dodge. Excuse me, that didn't knock the queen into a firing mode. There she is. Okay, I don't think I've peeped adrenaline damage yet, but whilst it's around 526, if I could just... No, okay, she's not going to show me her face. 1955 and 1955. Huh. Do you get the same damage for headshots and also leg shots? Because if so, I'm never going for the head again. Ah, looks like Belle, the long-haired German Shepherd, has shown up, so... Yeah, we better do something about this. Let's see if I can't pull off a little bit of sniping here, because I've kind of been neglecting this medium scope. It's not very useful. Also, the radiation is not very good for me. Yeah, ever since I got the high-capacity backpack mod, radiation has got twice the bite of what it actually did, so... Yeah, I think I might be taking a little bit more Rad-X next time I face Barbara and all over, mates. Looks like the simple tap the trigger and don't even charge the thing up is good enough to suffice for at least anything that's in range. And once we pump up adrenaline, the range will only extend. There we go. Because you're only getting, what, about a quarter damage when you're hitting them out of range, like completely out of range when you don't charge the thing up, which is, you know, not very good, but yep, we're done. Okay, this is where it all comes together. Obviously, I'm out of range there, but I feel like I should have been rewarded with the hit anyway. It's weird because the projectiles in this game are hit scan until you get to a certain point. Although, I feel like it's flying slightly closer now. Surely I couldn't dink him with hip fire accuracy from here, could I? Not from here. Yeah, the projectiles seem to go from... They stop existing after a certain distance, which I guess is for balance reasons. You don't want to be pinging stuff too far outside of render distance because of balance, right? Seeing some consistent aim out of here would have been nice to grab him before he landed, but whatever. There, you don't even need scopes, you just need a true barrel, and then you can basically hipfire everything. Everything. It's nice to, you know, see what the color of my victim's eyes are. It might even be too much, to be honest. Yeah, we'll see how well that goes for you, mate. So as you can tell, decent damage, and we are using the prime receiver, so if we just times that by 0.3, what does that give us? That gives us the damage on what we get from a Scorch Beast. Now, I'm pretty sure that beast was out of range, so if we're at full adrenaline attacking something from very close, then it'd be nice if this one spawned. Not gonna happen. Well, I think we might get a respectable amount of damage on it anyway, and keep in mind that I have been basically doing this entire video up until now with 0 adrenaline reduction to my name and no nerd rage, so, you know, I feel like we could be doing maybe 100 to 200 points, maybe a bit more. That's probably a bad maths right there, but I feel like we could be doing a decent amount of damage per shot on the clean. And basically what I'll do with a Gauss rifle anyway is just tap the trigger away because I lose so much valuable time charging this thing up to full anyway, so yeah. I've also had a backup fixer on me just in case something went wrong, but obviously nothing went wrong. The last minute over here has been quite a decent weapon. It's actually one of the better Gauss rifles I've used in this particular series, so a little bit of a sleeper weapon, I don't really know, but yeah, let me know what you think of this thing. If you want me to clean test it, I will, but generally those videos aren't watched all that much. People don't actually care how any of these weapons do against Barbara, which I guess is a reflection of how many people just don't give a shit about Scorched Earth, maybe. Not really sure. I guess maybe the community isn't as interested in it because idiots with hacked weapons show up, at least on PC, and then there's Strangleheart power armors, things that crash all of the console players, so yeah, some changes need to be made there, Bethesda. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys.